What's up, faithful? How's it going? So before I get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That helps me out with my content to push out more. Let's get into it. Obviously, the 49ers were very thin at quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo, his practice window has opened, but the likelihood of him returning back to the team, especially as a starter or even a backup for this Saturday, was not going to happen. We'll see if he even suits up for Week 17. Nick Mullins, he's done for the year, maybe even done for next year, as he's going to have Tommy John surgery, and Josh Johnson is on the COVID-19 reserve list. So basically all they had is CJ Beathard. 49ers, Kyle Shanahan stated today that they were going to need to go ahead and get someone off somebody else's practice squad. It was going to come down to whichever backup or practice squad quarterback said yes, that's the guy that they were going to get. And they got 23-year-old Josh Rosen from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers practice squad. I know it's not sexy, but in this circumstance, nobody that they would have poached off of somebody else's practice squad would have been a sexy pick either. He was the 10th overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft. If you remember well, he was the selection after Mike McGlinchey. The Arizona Cardinals actually traded up to take Josh Rosen. Hindsight 2020, what an awful trade for the Cardinals on that. He is someone that has a 3-13 career NFL record as a starter. Yeah, it's awful. It's ugly. I'm going to run through his stats here, and it doesn't get better than his QB record. 54.8 completion percentage, 2,845 yards on 5.7 yards per attempt, to go along with 12 touchdowns and 19 interceptions. Yeah, it's ugly, like I said it was going to be. But do I think he's a better talented quarterback than Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard? Absolutely. 100%. That's the reason why Rosen was taken in the first round and not an over pick in the third round like Beathard or an undrafted free agent like Mullins. He is a better talented quarterback. The difference is, while his numbers are so ugly, Kyle Shanahan drawing up the plays for him. I'm not saying his numbers would have been Pro Bowl or Jimmy-like numbers, but it would have been better numbers than Mullins or CJ Beathard. I believe that 100%. After his rookie season, he was traded to the Miami Dolphins, and the Cardinals got a second-round pick in return, which they selected Andy Isabella on, and the Miami Dolphins got Josh Rosen in a fifth-round pick. This is kind of interesting. That's why I thought I would bring it up. That fifth-round pick was actually traded to San Francisco for Matt Breida, and the 49ers took Colton McKivitz in this past year's draft. Once the season ended, he was waived by the Miami Dolphins, and he's been on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers practice squad ever since Week 1 this year. He was a 3-year starter at UCLA, completing 60.9% of his passes, slightly under 10,000 yards for his career in 3 seasons, with 59 touchdowns and 26 interceptions. So that's slightly above a 2-to-1 TD to INT ratio, which it's not that good in college. I'm going to be honest here. Rosen isn't going to stop the 49ers from taking someone in the first round or in the draft, or stop them from taking a look at Stafford. This just comes along with the territory that the only guy that can suit up on Saturday is CJ Beathard. So they needed somebody in there. Jet McKinnon or Kyle Juszczyk, if they had to go play quarterback, things probably would have looked similar to what happened with the Denver Broncos earlier this year. But who knows? Nick Mullins might miss all of next year. Josh Rosen could replace him as the backup quarterback, because even if the 49ers did tender Mullins, he would have costed $3.5 million. So now with his Tommy John, you probably don't have to tender Mullins, because who's going to want to get him? Just being honest, no shade at Mullins. And then CJ Beathard, he's probably not going to come back. And if Shanahan likes what he sees from Rosen, at least as a student of the game, because he's probably not going to play at all, he's someone that could return back to this 49ers team as a minimum costing player. And yeah, hopefully they can have a quarterback that doesn't miss any games next year as a starter. And then we don't have this whole debate of they need to spend $8 million on a backup quarterback. It's worth the risk at this point to just see what you can get out of him.